Hi everybody, Zara here for the usual bonus roundup, the last one in fact, for this thread. I didn't really miss much, but, well, first of all, here's the Giga attack for the Falcon armor. It's basically just a screen clearer. It's pretty useful. Other interesting thing to note that I kind of forgot to talk about is the fourth armor that X starts the game with does not have the Nova Strike capability that it did in the previous game, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Now, I mentioned before that there was a couple different endings. I was not really being entirely honest. The ending of the game never changes. It's always essentially the same thing, but there's a couple things that can switch up. In this case, this is the version where the colony is not destroyed and Zero is not alright. In order to get this, I immediately fired the Enigma and launched the shuttle as soon as I started the game. This is me trying this without beating a single Maverick, and this is the result that you get. Other interesting thing to note is while I was recording that, I fired the Enigma right off the bat again, and it completely destroyed the colony. So, yes, even in this case, there is still a chance of success, somehow. Which is really weird. But that's the game developers for you. This cutscene's kind of long, too. So there's also one result that I don't show. It's when you launch the shuttle, it destroys the colony, but Zero is not alright. The shuttle crash lands, and you end up with the same cutscene that takes place like right after this one. You'll see it in a few seconds here, but you just don't get all this stuff talking about how the Earth is destroyed. The problem with them making so many different cutscenes to be played in like a random manner is just, in my opinion, is the fact that the translation ends up being really, really dodgy. Just because there would be subtle differences in the dialogue between the cutscenes, but they just didn't program it in, so they just kind of take the cheap way out and make the dialogue really, like, stilted and weird. Another problem with this game. One of many, but I still like it. Also, I think that frame, that little animation of Zero opening his eyes, is the only actual... It's pretty much the closest thing you could call to any actual animation in this entire game's, like, cutscene library. So I lied before when I said that the Maverick Zero ending kicks you straight through to the boss fight against Zero. It actually doesn't. You still have to go through the stages, like the end game stages, as you normally would. Nothing else really changes about them, but one thing does. In the third stage, when you have to fight Zero, well, first of all, you can't select Zero as a playable character throughout this whole section. You can only use X, and for obvious reasons. And obviously, the boss fight changes as well. The fight doesn't really change too much. Zero still follows the same general pattern, but a few things are changed up. Like, for example, he shoots the little rings out. They home in on your position, and they come at you twice, which they can be pretty annoying. And another thing is, all of his attacks do quite a bit more damage. He's very deadly. What you're seeing here is X with the ultimate armor and every health upgrade that I could possibly get in the game, and I still had a hard time with this fight. Zero takes a lot of damage, he's got a huge health bar, and it's really annoying. He's got another attack. I seem to remember him having another one anyway, where he makes these great big, like, barriers with his beam saber, and then he like throws them at you from the side of the room. It's really annoying to dodge, but for some reason he just would not do it. Like every time I fought him, he would not use that attack, so maybe I'm just misremembering, but in any event. That's the end of the bonus video for X5, and that's pretty much the end of the LP. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun while it lasted. It only took about a year, but I will hopefully see you all next time.
Superstitious folktales aside, the heart is a priceless treasure of the Chinese people, one that must never fall into the wrong hands. That is why China wants you to find it.
Okay, let's say I'm interested. It'll take months of meticulous excavation to find the entrance to Qin's crypt. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
On the contrary, Dr. Jones, you've already begun.